Hello there, and welcome back for another video, you guys. First off, if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as we're going to be diving into a lot of Halo Mega content in the near future, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Today we're looking at Halo Heroes Series 18. Unfortunately, this is more than likely the final Halo Heroes series, as these have been available for over a year, and there's no current news, leaks, or anything like that for Halo Heroes Series 19, at least none that I'm aware of. Like I said, it's been over a year. We haven't heard anything. Mega hasn't come out with anything. We don't know anything in regards to Halo Heroes Series 19. So as of time of recording, Series 18 may be the final series. We've got all 5 figures here sealed. We've got Atriox, the Flood Human Combat Form, the Spartan Mark 7, Lieutenant Colonel Kinsano, and the Sangheili Honor Guard on the end there. Some great figures, some not so great figures, but we're going to go ahead and dive into these. Real quick, you guys, before we dive into the full video, I just wanted to say thank you. We just hit 1,000 subscribers the other day. This is my first video coming out since then, and I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So, liking my videos, watching videos, subscribing, all that helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see. So, leave a comment down below what you think my best video has been, and we'll dive right into Halo Heroes Series 18. Starting off with Atriox here. Take a look at our package before we open it up. So you got your figure up front, like with all of your Halo heroes. You got your stand, as well as the weapon. And then we've got a 3D rendered picture of Atriox right here. You got the Halo logo, the Mega logo, your kind of peg holder, although I've never seen these actually hanging from pegs. They've always been in the, like, tray, not tray, but the case package for the Halo heroes. I've never seen them hanging. Also on the front, you got a 13 plus rating. You got your piece count, which is 20. With the Halo figures, they're counting each individual part as a separate piece. So that's where you get your 20 from, because otherwise it would only be 3 pieces, because you only got the figure, stand, and weapon with this guy. You got the name Atriox there, as well as an 18 in kind of this bronze hexagon shape. Flipping it over to the back, there is not a picture of any of the other figures in the series, but you get a whole page of legalese, Mega Unboxed, Mattel logos, Xbox 343 Industries, all kinds of stuff that nobody actually really cares about on that side. All the stuff we care about is on the front side. So go ahead and get them open. On these guys, down here at the bottom, you've got this kind of pull tab you lift up on, and that happens most of the time. Doesn't actually work. Try it from that side. Nope, same thing. Okay, we're just gonna rip it open. Yep. Knock the camera down. There we go. Go ahead and rip that open. With Atriox, it doesn't really matter because he doesn't actually have any extra accessories, but with some of the figures, you'll get like extra small accessories down here in the bottom part of the package. Go ahead, get him out. His weapon. There we go. And then we'll get this piece out. Get the garbage out of our way. Maybe. Ah, garbage. Set that off to the side. So figure over for a second. We're just going to take a quick peek. A little pamphlet here, which has a picture of all of the figures, all 5 figures there. The Honor Guard, Mark 7, Kinsano, Atriox, and the combat form, as well as how to build some of the items that come in the wave. And then flip it over to the back. Just some more legalese. Another picture of all the figures, but nothing too important with the pamphlet here. So set that off to the side as well. Start off, we've got our Atriox name on the stand with the Banished logo. You also got a big Mega Constructs logo right there. 6 studs on top, and then we got Atriox himself. This is from, I believe, his later appearance in the game after his face has been burned. That's why he's got like a multicolored face with a red eye. It's supposed to signify the damaged side of his face. Check him out. Everything seems to be functional. Put him on on the stand. He's got like wider brute feet, so you gotta make sure you line it up correctly with the pegs. Or not pegs, but the studs. Because you can't put it like at an angle, you gotta line it up directly onto the stud, otherwise it won't go. Because it kind of conflicts with the stud in front of it. And there's his weapon. And there is Atriox. The only QC I could talk about is some of this red on the weapon is a little oversprayed, and there's a little sliver of gray showing through on the red right there, but otherwise, not a bad figure. But I will say, this is often regarded as the worst figure, as we've gotten Atriox a few times, at least one other time, I think actually two, but I can only think of one other one off the top of my head. But he's often seen as the worst figure in the series. Going from the worst figure in the series to what is often regarded as the best figure in the series, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Flood human combat form. This is kind of in the Halo 3 style of armor for a Marine. Taking a look, same layout as Atriox, get your figure, weapon, stand, 3D render of the figure, all the same info, just with the change in the name, and then this one only has 18 pieces. And all the same info on the back, and I probably won't show the back again because they're going to be identical across the line for the back side of the maybe your part, or not part, but your batch code, and maybe some of the other small little numbers like that. But all the legalese are the same, nothing else is going to be different. The only thing different is going to be the front side, so we're not even going to look at the back on the rest of these. Get them open, see how we do. There we go. That's what they're supposed to do, is just rip up like that. Get that off to the side, open it up. You just got one extra piece, as well as another one of those little pamphlets for the figure. Maybe get that out. There we go. There we go. So there is the human combat form. It doesn't actually say Flood, but that's what it is Flood. Oop. If I can focus the camera a little more. Got a symbol there. I'm guessing that's some sort of a Flood symbol. I'm not too familiar with the Flood having any kind of a distinguishing symbol, so that's probably what that is. And then there's our figure, and then the extra piece that you had is the little Flood antennas that they have that's molded in a red. There's no paint to it. I think in the lore, they're actually supposed to be, the tentacles are actually supposed to be tan, and then the tips are supposed to be red, but that's whatever. And then our figure himself, he's got a little bit of extra, whoop, there goes a leg. Oh, that works. But I was just bringing him in because there's a little bit of extra plastic here. I'll probably take a knife and trim that up a little bit. But it's not the end of the world. It doesn't hurt the figure at all. But I'll probably trim that off just because it's noticeable from where I'm at, like foot away, I can see it. So, yep. And then as for the figure, looking like everything works and functions the way it's supposed to, so no other QC issues. And then you get the battle rifle in this olive drab green, and as of time recording, this is currently the only way to get this rifle in this color. And then as for the figure, he's got the Halo 3 style legs. I don't know if I've got a Halo 3 Marine handy. Well, this was handy, so I'm just going to open up the Hornet real quick. Get Sergeant Stacker out here just so you can see that they are the same. Meaning to open that anyways. Alright, real quick. I got a ton of these laying around. This was right at my feet, so I figured we'll just open that up. Get him out there. So, there is Stacker. There is the Halo Brute. Or not Brute, what am I saying? This is a Flood. Alright, and there they are side by side. This is Sergeant Stacker from the Hornet, as well as the Flood infection form. Combat form. Excuse me, I want to say infection form, but that is incorrect. This is not an infection form. We will get to one, but not right now. Taking a look, you can tell pretty much the lower half on them are going to be the exact same. The combat form, he's got some extra gray mixed into the plastic, but that's nothing to scoff at, just because it's kind of like a random mixture, so they're not going to be identical across the board, which kind of adds to that like camouflaged look. So exact same lower leg. Actually, no, I take that back. They're not exactly the same. Look at his boots. His boots, I don't know how well that's coming up on camera. They are in a different color. The combat form has a dark gray. Sergeant Stacker has more of a light gray. And then actually the thigh piece might be lighter color on the combat form compared to Stacker. So, not exactly. I figured they would be completely just reused from lower legs, but I was wrong. They're actually a little bit different. So, there they are. And then you can kind of tell he's got the chest plate that's kind of pushed out right there compared to Stacker's chest plate. They're identical. Well, they're not identical, but you know what I mean. Left arm, it's kind of the same, yeah. Same color there for the lower arm. And then you got the flood bits. And then you get this head here, which I'm not 100% sure. I've seen some people say it is reused, some people say it's not. I don't know too much about the Call of Duty line to tell you whether or not this was one of the zombie heads there, but that's what I've heard, is that this came from some of the zombie sets that they did for Call of Duty. So, be a good reuse, and it'd be fine. It doesn't look anything out of place because it doesn't have any like flood bits on it. It's just a screaming head. I guess the ear, he's kind of got like his ears off his face, but that's what it is. It is what it is. So throw him, give him his rifle. And there is your Flood human combat form. Next up in the lineup, we'll take a look at the Spartan Mark 7, who utilizes the Peppermint Laughter coating. This was one of the first coatings that they added to Halo Infinite, if I remember right, because this was not in the game when the game started, but it was with the first winter update for Halo Infinite. You could get this coating, and I believe the visor as well were part of that first winter, like the Winter Wonderland. No, Winter Contingency. Was that the first one? I don't remember. I didn't play it that much, but I did play, and I did unlock this coating through the winter event, that first winter that Halo Infinite was out. Take a look at the figure. It is the same setup for the others. You got figure, weapon, stand, 3D render the figure. Figure's name right here, Spartan Mark 7. He only has 22 pieces with him. All the other info is the same. Back's the same. And we'll go ahead and rip him open. He does not have any extra pieces. Nope, no extra pieces. There we go. Get the junk out of here. There we go. Just another extra pamphlet. Let's see. Yep. So he's got one of the assault rifles that's got a ammo counter on the top here, but it comes already assembled. You could take it off if you wanted to, but if you did, you'll probably lose it. And now that I've done that, I'll probably lose it. But there you go. That's your ammo counter. All right, punched in a little closer. Get your Spartan Mark 7 with the UNSC logo there in green. This stand would work for any Mark 7. It doesn't necessarily need to be for the Peppermint Laughter one. It could be for any of the Mark 7s. Very generic. So if you wanted to get extras of those, you could, and you can use them here. As for the figure, he is incredibly detailed for what he is. I know this coating's probably not everybody's favorite, but I will give it to Mega. He is incredibly detailed compared to some of their other stuff, like what you get with just general release figures where the only paint on the figure might be the visor. That is not the case. I think every piece of him is painted except for the groin piece and then the torso and probably the shoulders. Yeah, the upper shoulders, those aren't painted either. None of the connectors are, but everything else is. Helmet's got extra paint, chest on the front and back, because that's part of the back there, so that's part of the back. Shoulders, wrists, hands even have print, thighs have print, waist piece has print, and the lower legs have print. So he's got print everywhere. So On the back side, you don't have a lot. You've got the shoulders where there's some print that carries over, and then the bit on like the side of the knee, that's got a little bit of print that goes to the back, but not a whole ton. However, the back piece does have print there up for the, I think those are supposed to be the lights on the armor, if I remember right. I could be wrong, but that's what I think that's for. If I am wrong, go ahead and comment that down below. Then you got lots of this like peppermint green, lime green, red, dark red print all over the figure. And then he's got a dark red visor. Just let me look at the picture on that. Oh yeah, there's supposed to be a little bit of white showing up at the top. That might be a little too much white. See on the picture there. There is supposed to be a little bit of white there. But that almost looks like there's a little too much showing, but it's not the end of the world. It works. Gets the point across. And then he's got the assault rifle. Looks to be cast in white plastic and then printed with the like peppermint or mint green and then this red color. And the red has a different sheen to it between the assault rifle and the ammo counter. The ammo counter is also cast in white, but then printed with red. And I could be wrong, but I think this might be one of the only printed ammo counters that we've gotten. If I'm wrong, let me know, but I don't know of any other ammo counters that are painted. There is his rifle. And yeah, he looks really cool for what he is. So that's not supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. I think that was just me, not the figure. Seems like it's in there pretty tight. There goes the ammo counter, though. So, yep. You will definitely lose that. Next figure in the lineup is going to be Lieutenant Colonel Kinsano. And I'll be straight up with you guys. I did not know who this character was for quite a while, even after these had come out. I'd never really played Halo Wars 2's multiplayer at all, and then I played through the campaign. I think for the second time, I played through the campaign once, and then like forgot about the game entirely. But then I came back, played through a second time, and then started diving a little more into the lore, and that's when I kind of found out who Kinsano was, because I really didn't know where she came from. I wasn't exactly into Halo when Halo Wars 2 came out, so didn't really know the character. She kind of looks cool. She's supposed to be she's like a Native American, but then she's also like a former insurgent that turned to the UNSC during the war. So she's got all kinds of stuff going on. Take a look at the box, same layout. You got your figure, you got your printed flamethrower stand, 3D render of the figure, and you'll probably notice there's a flood infection form right there. So she's got a little bit of extra things going on with her. And nothing to talk about back there. So go ahead with this open. 20 pieces. Lieutenant Colonel Kinsano. And another one of these. So we're, what, 1 for 4? No, 2 for 2, sorry. I'm getting these to open correctly. Just rip her open. There we go. Get her out. Put that off to the side. Start off with our stand. She's got the same logo that the Spartan had with the UNSC logo in green with the character's name. Get your flood infection form and kind of that dark tan color. I think there's 3 colors that these can come in. Dark tan, light tan, and then like a brown color. So this is that dark tan color. And we've got our figure. Let me change the camera real quick. There we are, a lot closer view. So we'll bring her in even closer. She's got a lot of print going on. So she's got a face tattoo, a couple face tattoos. One going across her eye, and then one on her chin. Kind of got like short hair on the sides, but long on top. And then she's got a lot of print on the torso there, as well as on the shoulders, that red and blue pattern. And then she's got some white on this shoulder, Actually, on both shoulders, excuse me. No prints on the lower half of the body, it doesn't look like. And then she doesn't have any leg armor. And she also does not come with a helmet. There are two versions of Kinsano in the line. There's this one, and then there's the one that comes with her modified Cyclops. That one did come with a helmet. This one does not come with a helmet. And then as for her weapon, you've got a printed flamethrower, which is always nice, and it honestly doesn't make sense to not do these printed. You do not get a muzzle effect. They do make a flamethrower muzzle effect, which I'm trying to think. I think the UNSC gear pack that came with the Marine and the Hellbringer was the last time we saw one of these with the flame effect. But yeah, don't get one of those, unfortunately. It would have been nice to see one. So, and then her, if you couldn't tell, her weapon of choice is a flamethrower. She's a fire, pyrotechnics kind of person. She drives around in a, well, she doesn't really drive around. She walks around in a giant modified Cyclops. It just has flamethrowers. So she is a flame-throwing, hell-bringing son of a gun. Maybe. Doesn't really want to hold her weapon, though. There we go. There she is. Still on her stand. There we are. Throw that over there. So, roast and flood. And our fifth and final figure is the Sangheili Honor Guard. This guy is also up there on the list of figures people wanted. The Honor Guard we've gotten a couple of times on new articulation. We've also gotten a few times on old articulation. But as for the new articulation, we got this one. We also had the Light of Shanghelios. I think that was in Series 15 with the white armor. Then we got this guy in Series 18 with the red armor. And then we've also gotten an active camo Honor Guard. And then we had another red Honor Guard in the past that was like $100 plus figure for quite a long time. But I think the prices have finally started dropping down just because this Honor Guard is also available. I think the difference between the two figures, I've never seen the other one in person before, but I think the difference I understand is the color for the armor in being like a black color instead of gray for the accent. So we'll go ahead and look at the figure. Packaging layout is the same. You got your figure here with the Honor Guard staff, stand, 3D render of the figure, 22 pieces here, name of the figure. Everything else is identical to all the others, so we'll just go ahead and rip her open. And we were 2 for 5 on opening these, so that's the way it be. Maybe just rip it open. I know there's some of you guys that are watching this just in pain seeing me rip these open, but there is no way to save these packages, unfortunately. Not like some of the other Heroes series where the glue will just dissolve over time and you can just take the plastic off of the back without having to open it at all. So, closer in, let's take a look at our figure. We'll start with the stand. Got the Sangheili Honor Guard Covenant logo in purple. Got the actual Honor Guard himself. He's done this kind of metallic red. He's got this kind of like medium gray color for the accent with gold inlays to the helmet, legs, and shoulders. No gold on the chest, but he does have a bit of gray on the front part. Looks like just the shoulders, helmet, chest, and thighs have printing. No additional prints for this guy. Put him on his stand. And then we've got his weapon here. The Honor Guard staff, which is done in this gray color with the gold inlays. Bring in for a comparison real quick. Here is a light of Sanghelios. Pretty much identical, just one's in red, one's in white. Stands have a little bit of a difference. The purple is a different color between the Light of Sanghelios and the Honor Guard, the regular Honor Guard. This guy's got more of like a dull purple versus this one's got more of a vibrant purple. But otherwise, everything else about them looks to be pretty much identical. Same prints done just on white versus on red. There you have all 5 figures out of the package. We're going to go worst to first on these guys. Worst being surprised to no one as being Atriox. Don't really need to say much. I think everybody Everyone else that's done a video like this has pretty much covered why he was the worst figure in this lineup. But yeah, he is not necessary. Took up a spot that could have been used by something else that would have been a lot better, but we got him. He's not bad per se, but he was just an unnecessary figure. The character himself was dead by the time this figure came out, and he was already available in multiple sets, so he was just kind of there. Didn't really need him. Fourth place is going to go to the Spartan Mark 7. Don't get me wrong, he is a good figure. He's got some of the best paint apps, by far the best painted figure in the series, but he's just very limited on what you can do. You know, if you're going for like a multiplayer, Halo multiplayer, you're fine with him there. If you're going to go raid the North Pole, he's probably fine there. Doing some sort of Christmas theme, probably fine for that. But outside of those three topics, you're probably not going to find him anywhere else. This color scheme is just not it for actual military figure. So that's why he's getting fourth place. He's not a bad figure. He's just the colors don't work for a massable figure. Third place is going to go to Kinsano. She's not a bad figure either. She is a named character, so you're not going to want to buy multiples of her. However, you could use her for customizing, which is what I plan to do. So that's why I've picked up about 6 of her for customs. Probably take her head, repaint it a couple of times, see what I can come up with. Probably repaint the armor and see what we can come up with. But yeah, that's why I'm going to give her third place. She's got the flamethrower going for her, which is nice. Plus, she came with the extra infection form, which is always good to get. That's why I'm giving her third place. Now, the question on your mind, who's he going to choose for first place? These were both great figures. However, I do think one of them is by far a better figure than the other. I think that's pretty obvious. So first place will go to the combat form, and we'll talk about him in a moment. But second place is going to go to the Honor Guard. He's still a good figure. Definitely got more uses than any of the other figures back there, but he is also still kind of limited on what you can do with him. But he is not a bad figure. He's got a lot of good things going for him, just not as army buildable as some of the others. Or, well, I guess the only other army buildable figure is our number one figure, being the human combat form, which I guarantee you no one is going to disagree with me on. He was the best figure in the lineup. And then for some reason you disagree with that, comment that down below. Or if you agree, comment that too. I always like hearing that stuff. So go ahead and leave something down there. The only difference when it comes to availability for this figures compared to my list is Kinsano and Mark 7 are really the only changes that need to be made. But as for availability, guaranteed any store you go into is going to have Atriox. Kinsano, I've pretty much always seen her in store, just as much as I've seen Atriox. However, I have gone and not seen her a couple of times. Spartan Mark 7, he's not always available, but he's still relatively common to find. And then the Honor Guard is next up on the list. I've seen him in store about 5 or 6 times, I think. But he's still relatively uncommon to find. And then the human combat form, I have only seen twice. One time I got lucky when I first moved to where I currently live. I happened to walk into Fred Meyer's and they had just put a fresh case of Series 18 out. And I managed to pick up pretty much one of every figure plus all the extra combat forms. And yes, I'm that guy that bought all of them because I wanted all of them. Picked up that. And then the other time I found them, I put it into one of my videos earlier. I found 2 of these guys stashed away in the office supply part of Fred Meyer's, just tucked away behind I think it was a stack of notebooks. I just so happened to glance over and noticed out of the corner of my eye that there was a Halo Heroes figure there. So if you're the guy that stashed them there, sorry, but I bought those. But hey, those are just the opinions of some 26-year-old on the internet with a camera and a whole bunch of toys. So if you got a different opinion, go ahead and comment that down below. While you're down there, make sure you hit the subscribe button on the way and you like the video. Other than that, I got nothing else for you, so make sure you carry on having a great rest of your day.